Hello Year 2 and welcome back to our online home learning. I'm here to join you today for us to do some maths learning together. So I'm going to share my screen so that you can see what I can see. Okay, now before we get started for our learning today, I'd like you to draw a pictorial representation to show 2 multiplied by 5. Remember, that's 2 groups of 5 or 2 lots of 5. Pause the video here. Now, once you've drawn the picture, I want you to write down the number sentence and see if you can find the total of 2 multiplied by 5. Let's have a go at that one now for me. Okay, hopefully you've had a chance to draw your picture and you found the total for that. So if I were to show you mine, you can see my 2 groups and I have 5 circles in each group. And my number sentence would be 2 multiplied by 5, which equals 10. Well done if you managed to get that one. Okay, now just before we start our learning today, I want you to think back to our learning yesterday. What were we learning to do last lesson? We were learning to write a multiplication number sentence. Now today we're going to continue with that, but today we're going to be using pictures to help us with our multiplication. Now a couple of questions to remind you. What happens when we multiply? Does the number get bigger? Does the number increase? Or does the number get smaller? And the second question is, what does the multiplication symbol look like? 2 questions to think about there. Okay, so as you can see, we've got a picture on the screen here. We've got some groups and we've got some cupcakes. So we've got some plates, which are our groups, and some cupcakes, which are how many in each group. So the first thing you need to think about is how many groups do we have and how many are there in each group? Once you've decided that, once you've worked that one out, you need to have a go at answering these 3 sentences here. So the first one is have a go at writing a multiplication number sentence for this picture. So something multiplied by something equals something. Then it says something lots of 3 equals blank. And then blank multiplied by blank equals 12. That might be a bit of a clue for you. Once you've had a go at answering those 3, I want you to think about what do the 4, the 3 and the 12 represent? Which one represents the groups? Which one represents how many in each group? And which one represents how many there are altogether? Now, as a final challenge, if you'd like to stretch yourself, we started thinking about multiplication stories in our last maths lesson together. So I wonder if you can think of a multiplication story for 3 multiplied by 4. So 3 groups of 4 equals 12. Okay, hopefully you've had a go at answering those questions there. So we'll go through the answers together. So the multiplication number sentence for this picture would be 4 multiplied by 3, which equals 12. We'd have 4 lots of 3 or 4 groups of 3, and that also equals 12. And 4 multiplied by 3 equals 12. So if we were to think about what each number represents, the 4 represents the number of groups, the 3 represents the number in each group, and the 12 represents how many altogether. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, so this time we've got some cherries. I want you to look at how many groups we have and how many in each group. And I want you to write a multiplication number sentence, look at how many lots of there are, and something multiplied by something. Pause the video here and have a go at answering those 3 sentences. Okay, hopefully you've had some time now to go through and write the number sentences for this picture. Okay, so we have got 3 multiplied by 2, because we can see our 3 groups, and there's 2 cherries in each group. And the total of that is 6, because if we were to count in twos, count with me, 2, 4, 6. So that means we have 3 lots of 2 is 6, and 3 multiplied by 2 equals 6 as well. I wonder if you were able to challenge yourself to think of that multiplication story. Okay, I think we have one more example to go through. We have some birds. We can see our groups here and how many we have in each group. So I want you to have a go, final practice at answering those sentences there. And again, try and challenge yourself. Can you think of a multiplication story? Okay, let's go through our answers then. So here we have 2 multiplied by 3. Again, we can say 2 groups of 3. Here we have 2 lots of 3, which is the same as 2 groups of 3, and 2 multiplied by 3. And again, the total of the birds is there are 6 birds. Okay. So finally, for our practice then. Now, we had quite a lot of practice of using these symbols last term, so I wonder if you can have a go at this for me. So I'd like you to use the symbols. So we have our less than symbol, our greater than symbol, and our equal sign to compare each of these groups. So comparing this compared to this, which one is greater? Is this greater or is this greater? You draw the symbol in between. Again here, is this one greater or is this one greater? Now this one's been done for you, so we can see a tree with some apples on. So we can see one group of how many? And that equal sign, remember what that equal sign means? It means the same as. So we have one group of something, or one multiplied by something. Okay, so that one you need to fill in that answer there. Pause the video here and we'll come back together to go through the answers in a moment. Okay, hopefully we've managed to have a go at comparing some of those groups. Okay, so the first one here, we should have the crocodile's mouth pointing at the grapes. The grapes, the total of the grapes is 10. The total of the cherries is 6. So that's why the grapes is greater. Now here, 4 lots of 3 would be greater than the birds, because 4 lots of 3 equals 12, but the birds equals 6. So 12 is greater than 6. And here we can see it's one group of 10. There are 10 apples on the tree. Okay, so finally then, let's go through our task for today. Now, you can see some pictures here, and you're going to need these pictures to help you with your learning today. Now, you're going to need to leave this on the screen so that you can draw these pictures on your piece of paper. So I want you to draw each of these pictures on your paper. And once you've drawn each picture, I want you to complete these sentences, just as we've done together during our learning. So I want you to write a multiplication number sentence. I want you to write how many lots of there are, and blank multiplied by blank. And again, work out the total for each one. Once you've completed these 4 pictures, you may want to draw your own pictures of equal groups, and then complete those 3 sentences for your picture. Okay, so that's your main task for today. Once you've done that, again, we've been working really hard on this the last couple of lessons. I want you to write a story for our Challenge X, a story for the calculation 4 multiplied by 10, or 4 groups of 10. Now, once you've written your multiplication story, I want you to draw a picture underneath to illustrate it. So if you were writing about football teams, you may want to draw a picture of those football teams there, which might then help the reader to work out the answer. Okay, so that's your challenge X for today. Finally, to end our maths lesson, let's have a look at our fluency number sentence. Our fluency number sentence is a multiplication one today, and it's 3 multiplied by 5. You may want to show me this in more than one way. You may want to draw your 3 groups of 5 in 2 different ways. Pause the video here and have a go at answering that one. Okay, hopefully you've had some time to go through the number sentence and to find the answer. So 3 groups of 5, or 3 multiplied by 5 equals 15. If we were to count in 5s, 5, 10, 15. 3 groups of 5. Okay. Hopefully you've enjoyed our maths learning today. I hope you really enjoy getting on with your main challenge, and I will see you a little bit later on for our learning. Goodbye for now.